watching me from the depths below. A haunted grave where shadows grow. Deadpit is watching me with eyes so cold. They're watching me now.
Howdy, folks, and welcome back to yet another episode. This is episode 18 of Deadpit is Watching. I'm the Creepy Kentuckian.
I'm Uncle Bill. How's everybody doing tonight, boys?
I'm doing great, man. Spooky season is upon us. It's within sight. It's within grasp. Right. So we're going to have some spookiness, baby, sprinkled throughout this episode. But the next couple of episodes, oh, man, those are going to be spooky dookie specials. We're going to tease you before we please you all the way with them episode. But this is going to be a good one, guys, because I want to kickstart it with a damn DVD, Uncle Bill. I am not too good to watch DVDs in 2025. I'll still watch a DVD. What do you think?
Yeah, I watch DVDs all the time still. Fuck it.
So this one sounded interesting. I didn't know anything about who made this. I just saw the title and I'm instantly like attracted to Halloween crap, just like makeup. I've seen makeup documentaries, trick or treat documentaries, Halloween documentaries. This is the history of trick or treating, Uncle Bill. Now, I didn't know a damn thing about this. I didn't know that it was only 37 minutes long. I didn't know that this studio, which it doesn't even have a name for the studio on the DVD, which is very odd. The DVD itself was, look at that. What the hell? But, oh, I checked it out. Directed by Patrick Ray Gallows. I wonder if that's a real name. Sounds like a gimmick name. The history of trick or treating. It's a documentary of sorts. I think they have a lot of AI generated images and just stock images and videos and stuff throughout the whole documentary. You have a Richard Attenborough sound-alike. Maybe it's his nephew, Little Dick Attenborough. I don't know. And like I said, it looks like it was using a lot of stock footage for the video. There's a constant narration talking about not only the history of trick-or-treating, but the history of Halloween and all the different, variations of Halloween. I think in Scotland and Ireland, and I didn't know this, it was called guising. Did you know that? Guising? That was what trick-or-treating was called.
Never heard of that.
Early days. See, I mean, there's some kind of interesting information here, but I almost get that this is the same thing as just pulling up the history of trick-or-treating on Wikipedia. The narrator doesn't fucking, he doesn't catch a breath, right? I almost think of the narrator as AI as well. He is constantly speaking throughout every minute of this 37-minute documentary. And from what I understand, this director, Patrick Gallows, has done, and most of these within the same year, a series of documentaries, all of them around 30 to 40 minutes. He's got one on Ouija boards, one on hell, one on horror and nightmares and the occult and ghost hunting. There is a pretty funny Halloween rip-off theme song in this, a piano song that's pretty, I don't know, I got to chuckle at it. But yeah, man, this is like, I don't even know if you could call this documentary. It looks cool. This almost looks like something that they would set in like daffodils or something and have like a little display and people would get it for Halloween. Maybe that's the market. Like they're going for like, oh, this will be very educational for Junior. Let's pick it up for him and let him enjoy
How
it.
educational is it though?
It's like going on Wikipedia and look at, like, that's basically what it is. Like this dude.
Somebody read the whole Wikipedia page, like AI
is reading the whole Wikipedia page. Yeah, it's nothing terribly like innovative or really particularly good. It's not. But that is the history of trick or treating. It's 37 minutes. Look, I mean, there's cool visuals. Like if you're having a Halloween party, you could leave this on in the background. Just put it on mute because that guy's voice, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't think we're the target audience for this for some reason.
Probably not. But I wanted to check it out because trick or treat season is upon us, and I thought it'd be something interesting to talk about on here. But no, it really wasn't. It really wasn't that good. But yeah, I would tell you who brought this out, but there's no. I look in the description below. I will find the studio, even though they're kind of not wanting to put their name on this release for some reason. But yeah, and the timestamps and all that stuff will be below. But yeah, the history of trick or treating, Uncle Bill's out now on DVD
from shit ass studios.
Sure.
Like, who knows?
Sure. It's a DVD.
The first one I've got is a movie that I'd never seen or really even particularly ever heard of up until now. But, you know, sometimes you got to take a chance because Columbus did. This is
You did.
Kino Lorber's Undisputed. The 4K.
Jaw jacking in this son of a bitch.
Yeah, so it's got Wesley Pipes and Ving Rhames like together. This is what you've always wanted. And it's an interesting movie, man. Like I'd never, like I said, heard of it before.
Show the artwork up there again. I always forget how to do that. Yeah.
So yeah, there's the Undisputed disc.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
What year was that one, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
Undisputed came out in 2002.
Wow. Okay, I was thinking this was the 90s.
Yeah, I know it seems like that, but no. It is the story of Ving Rhames, who is a heavyweight champion boxer called George the Iceman Chambers, who gets sent to prison. Get this, on a trumped up charge. And I think my best guess is around that time. I don't know when this happened or anything like that, but around the same time as like Tyson got those charges, grape charges against him. I feel like that might have
it's kind of based maybe on that a little bit.
Yeah, it might have been an inspiration for this. That would have
been a little bit before this though. If this was 2002, I think he got in trouble in like the early 90s, but it could have been based on, I guess.
It's the same story. That's what he gets convicted of, and he's sent to this prison. And inside this prison, there is like another boxer played by Wesley Snipes, and he's like one of those, you know, nobody knows about him or anything like that. He's not like a professional boxer, but he's deadly, and everybody in the prison realizes, you know, and that how he is. Good Lord.
Them dogs is gonna fucking kill each other.
I'm gonna fucking kill them dogs. Is the next thing's gonna happen.
That one's just ain't gonna do nothing but lick on the other one.
I'm gonna punt kick it. But no, so like of course what happens is that he gets in there and there's kind of like a battle of egos, for lack of a better word, and ends up with an underground boxing kind of syndicate that's in there, I guess. And you know, that becomes like one of the main attractions for it. There's all kinds of people in this movie too, man, like making like cameos and co-starring appearances. You got, listen to this, Liz, because it's fucking weird.
No.
Peter Falk, Columbo, was in this. He plays a mob boss. That kind of makes sense. Michael Rooker is in it, and Master P is in it.
Hoo-hoo!
So yeah.
Master P was like on top of the world around this time.
Yeah, around that time.
Master P, is he still around?
I don't know.
He just
I've never heard anything about him.
The No Limit Soldiers, man.
Yeah. By the way, this movie was directed. I did not know this until like I was like researching it. It's directed by Walter Hill, the same guy that brought like 1,000 action movies, like 48 Hours and stuff like that into play.
Interesting. Very cool.
So it is an old school style approach. This movie is not revolutionary by any stretch of the imagination. It's not like trying to set the world on fire. It is a decent boxing, drama underdog story, I guess, more than anything else. And it's got good writing because Walter Hill co-wrote the script. This is the 4K from the 35 millimeter camera negative, so it looks killer.
What was at what point in time did Wesley Snipes sort of piss Hollywood off? Like, cause he went away.
Well, it was when the tax stuff happened with him is what I remember. Like when he wouldn't pay his taxes and then like he lost all that money. The IRS came after his ass. It was like right around that time that he started to like just fade into it. So whenever that was, I can't remember. But I'm thinking it would have been right after that last Blade movie. Like all that stuff seemed to culminate around the same time.
So that would have been right around this time period, probably. Not long after.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So on this one, you've got audio commentary by action film historians Mike Leader and filmmaker Matt Rutledge, personal combat interview with director Walter Hill, conversation with Wesley Snipes. These are older ones, and a conversation with Ving Rhames. I recommend if you like action films, boxing movies, or either one of these guys, definitely get this 4K because it is a really unknown movie. It didn't do well at the box office, by the way. It didn't do well until it got on to like home video, and a lot of people consider this to be like a cult classic now. Yeah. So Undisputed.
You don't really see Ving Rhames in anything anymore either.
No, that's
Rax
true.
Commercials.
What the hell ever
Arby's.
did happen? Arby's.
There's no Rax commercials anymore. No.
Rax commercials would be fucking killer if that happened. But no.
We had Rax the other day, by the way.
Did you?
Ironton, Ohio. All right, man. This is a big one. Kino. We got a lot of Kino stuff in this episode, and this is another one that's a highly anticipated release. This movie, Night of the Juggler, from 1980. And this movie had never, up until this point, received a home video release since the VHS. No
Everybody
DVD.
and their grandmother's been talking about this movie for various reasons that I hope you talk about too.
Yeah, director Robert Butler, we'll definitely mention it on here. But I got to say, I don't know what the holdup was, why there was 40 plus years in between, these movies, this movie getting a re-release. I don't know why. I really don't. But this is an enjoyable movie. It's fun. It's nonstop action, everything. And, I guess we'll go ahead and get right into it. An all-star cast in this as well. So James Brolin is the star in this. He actually looks like he's ready to go onto the set of Amityville. I think this was right around that same time. Looks exactly the same, is wearing pretty much exactly the same clothing or whatever. But he plays an ex-cop by the name of Sean Boyd, who is working in the city, kind of a hard worker, is in between jobs at the time. His young daughter, Kathy, is kidnapped by this crazy creeper by the name of Gus, who is played wonderfully by Cliff Gorman, who I wasn't super familiar with. Mm-hmm. But Gus is a violent racist. He's very racist. You get that right off the bat. I'm not going to tell you why I think he's racist. You just have to watch the movie and see for yourself or listen. Got a bad temper. Gotcha. He's nuts. So he thinks that Kathy is the daughter of a millionaire businessman in town, and he gets him mixed up with another girl. And this is pretty much the plot, right? After this point, James Brolin it's a foot chase with him and Gus. Gus has got his daughter or whatever, and is pretty much like throughout the entire movie is him trying to hunt Gus down and rescue his daughter. This movie is New York City in the late 70s, early 80s. I think that's why a lot of people really wanted to see this movie cleaned up, and because you've got like the peep shows in 42nd Street, the adult district or whatever they called it back then. Like New York City in the late 70s and early 80s was a completely different animal than Disney World is, what basically Times Square and New York and everything is at this point. But this is definitely a time capsule for that, and I know a lot of people love to see that. There is some peep show action in this. This is a very sleazy movie. It's nonstop action for sure. There's gunfights, car chases. The crazy ass in this Gus looks like fucking Robert Gibson with a walleye. So that's kind of fun. I think it was just I don't think they had special effects for that. I think that was just his, "Hey, boy, rock and roll, daddy." Yeah, I mean, this is a fun movie. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I did not like just do backflips my own shit over it like a lot of people. I mean, maybe they were just hyping it up too much for me. I mean, this is a fun action, nonstop, edge of your seat sort of movie. There's really no slow parts in it or anything. It is well made. It's set, like I said, in the late 70s, early 80s in New York City. If you love seeing the sights from back then, this is perfect. I am glad that they finally re-released this. Now, this went straight to 4K. There is a Blu-ray included on this as well. I don't think that this has any alternate artwork from almost. Oh, it actually does. I was wrong. So, you want this one?
What do you got? What is
I think this is the original poster artwork.
Whatever.
I mean, I think I actually like the new commission. I think this is newly commissioned artwork here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There are some special features on this as well, though. There's an audio commentary by film historians Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson. A Summer of 78, an interview with actor James Brolin. The Sweet Maria, an interview with actress Julie Carmen. And Pandemonium Reflex and an inquest into Sidney J. Fury's Night of the Juggler.
Juggler. Hey, so
Juggle.
Tell us about the scene.
Yes. I don't know if too many people know about this, but if you're a member of the Dead Pit Discord, there is an error on this disc. Now, it's a very small error. It's so small, in fact, that I don't think anybody will even notice it unless you're a mega fan of Night of the Juggler. But yeah, there was an error on briefly in one scene where I think there was a duplicate scene that was put over for like 6 seconds or something like that. But I did. Man, if you look down or sneeze, you'll miss it. That's how short it is. But it's a great release. The transfer on this looks outstanding, man. And I know, like, I think that, you know, they're very proud of this release, and it kind of sucks that it had a little bit of an issue with it. But I still think they should be proud of it. I mean, this was the company that got this out after 40 some odd years. And for fans of this movie, this has never looked any better than this 4K Blu-ray combo that came out. So
it doesn't get any better than this right now, boys.
If you're a fan, get it right now. It's got a dragon on the blade. Night of the Juggler is out now from Kino Lorber.
I would actually like to see that, though, because I have no idea. I thought for about 20 years that I hated this movie, and I was partially right and partially wrong.
Uh-oh.
But the one I've got next, I hadn't seen since 2003 when it came out. Didn't really have any reason to, but revisiting Kino Lorber's new 4K of The Rundown with The Rock, Sean William Scott, Christopher Walken, and Jesus Christ, Rosario Dawson. Let me tell you something, man.
Ooh,
Let me tell you something right now.
Rosario.
Around this time period,
Yeah.
there wasn't nobody hotter than her. Like, and in this movie, I was like, Jesus, like that.
So
it's
you get to see
insane.
that in 4K on this release.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it really is. Anyway, that doesn't really have anything to do with the movie. It's just an observation that I made. So like I said, I hadn't seen this movie since, I can't remember if we saw this in the theater or together on DVD, but we saw it together. I do remember that.
I can't remember either.
It was one of those films that was jointly produced by WWE Films, like right at the time when The Rock came out.
Yeah, The Rock was still like kind of like in between acting and wrestling. He was doing both.
Yeah.
In 2002, 2003.
This was a big time movie. It did not perform like they thought it would. It did like okay, but it basically broke even. It didn't make it.
I guess they were thinking like Sean William Scott at this time. If you had him in anything, it was going to do pretty good because like
Yeah.
he was like he really was like a pretty big time like comedic actor. And then Christopher Walken also was in like a ton of stuff. But yeah, I don't know if didn't this have like a lot of just over the top goofy shit in it too.
That's what I was getting ready to get into this.
Yeah.
So the part where I'm right about this and not liking this movie really centers around there's a lot of over the top slapstick goofy ass comedy in this movie, and the tone of the movie's all over the place. So the tone starts off almost like The Last Boy Scout kind of style, which is very kind of like hard nosed, this guy that The Rock, he plays a guy named Beck who's a retrieval expert for this group of rich guys. So he basically goes in and he like people that have gambling debts and stuff like that, he collects on them, or he like makes them, give them some sort of collateral or something like that to keep.
He's like a bounty hunter type or whatever.
He's what do they call him? Like a loan shark, basically. Goes out and breaks legs, beats people up, stuff like that when they don't pay up. So anyway, he gets this one last mission. He's of course like he's an aspiring cook. It's like, so they had to have some sort of like thing that makes him seem three-dimensional or like he has a personality, which does not work at all. You can tell The Rock is not going to be a fucking cook, but they gave him that as a gimmick. So he wants to get out of this lifestyle and pursue that. So they give him one last job to do. So if he'll go retrieve this guy's son, who's played by Sean William Scott, who's in Brazil, then he will be out of the business and he can do whatever he wants and go off and be a cook or whatever. So fast forward to him, he goes over to Brazil to find this kid, and he runs into this mining tycoon that's played by Christopher Walken, and really quickly realizes that this guy's got himself into a lot of shit because he's like this eccentric, cartoonishly evil, miner that's trying to exploit the natives and all this stuff. That whole rigmarole.
Right.
And then the next half of the movie is just basically a buddy, kind of like they can't stand each other at first, but they like grow to love each other, kind of buddy movie with him and Sean William Scott. There's scenes in this where I'm just like, dear Lord, this is so hokey. They get like both of them get caught upside down in like this snare trap out in the jungle, and all these monkeys, like CG monkeys and shit, come out and like
Shit on
start messing
Sling-
with
they
them and like
sling
slinging
shit
them around.
on them. It'd be
Well,
so cute.
they don't necessarily do that, but it's kind of just like they just like sling them around, do all this stuff. So it's real goofy.
How do the CGI monkeys look in 4K?
Look about what you would think for 2003 CGI. It looks really shit. It's not as bad as the Scorpion King though, but it's bad.
Right.
This one, like, it doesn't take itself seriously at all, which is good in a way. But the best part about this movie is The Rock. This is the weird thing to me, because I thought going into it that he really sucked in this movie, because I don't really like The Rock in anything. He's actually by far the best part of the movie. He's got really good. This was before he got lazy, I think. Like, you could tell he really wanted this to work. He really wanted, like, he was like, all of his charisma, all of his comic timing, all that stuff. Like,
Well, this was one of his very first
yeah.
mainstream, like, leading roles.
And he's really good in it. He's really trying, like, and he's really likable in the movie. The problem is he's in a really bad movie. Like, he's just in a really hokey, goofy movie. But I mean, if you like The Rock, and that's why you'd probably get this movie, this is going to be like the perfect movie for you. Because it's really, nobody gives a shit about Sean William Scott, that's for sure.
Well, there was a time period there too where WWE kind of owned his name, and there was like a big blow up not long after this where he just went by Dwayne Johnson. Do you remember all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He
this
didn't
was
want to
like,
be called The Rock at all, yeah.
well, I think it was a legal thing too, because WWE got so much.
Oh, I
of a
thought he just
percentage
wanted
of
to be
this.
taken seriously or something. I didn't think it was
I
like,
think it was. Well, I don't know, but I think there was some legal aspects to it as well. But I remember this movie's okay. It's a fun time waster.
yeah.
Again, it's an interesting choice for 4K.
It actually does really well in 4K though, as opposed to like a lot of the like comedies and stuff. Like this one is in a jungle setting, so it works. It really helps that.
Yeah, it's
quite a
kind of
bit.
like an action comedy hybrid.
Yep.
So
Like, I mean, it's a 3 out of 5 movie. Really, it's fine. It's average. It's really, if you like The Rock, you'll love this movie. But the special features, audio commentary by the director and The Rock, that's on here. Audio commentary by producers. Audio commentary by more action film historians. Jesus Christ. There's a Rumble.
you got to have those action films.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd do if we didn't have them. Rumble in the Jungle featurette. The Amazon Hawaii style featurette. Appetite for Destruction featurette. The Rundown Uncensored, a rockumentary. I don't know what that is. Running Down the Town featurette. Walken's World featurette. All kinds of stuff on this. It's pretty much loaded with special features. So, yeah, this is
Nice.
the rundown. And I wonder, they surely didn't put a alternate cover on this one, did they? No, this is just one cover of the original.
Well, I like what Kino does too. With like that's the original poster art. I'm pretty sure.
It's got to be, yeah.
So I for one, like to me, I would prefer that because you get shit like you see the Criterion cover for
Yeah,
Pee Wee's
yeah.
Big Adventure.
Looks ridiculous, man.
Oh my god, terrible.
But I was wrong about the rundown and of the fact that like he's good in it.
Awesome. So the next one I've got is from our good friends over at Kino Cult. We're taking a look at a lot of Kino stuff, but this is the only Kino Cult title. This is Kino Cult 35. And Uncle Bill, are you ready to get nasty with Nashy tonight? Because we're taking a look at a 3D Chillorama version of Frankenstein's Bloody Terror from 1968. This one just recently came out. Kino Cults. And believe this, Uncle Bill, this is sort of a big deal that this came out. This is a highly sought after movie anyway. And the fact that it's out on 3D, it's on real 3D and the old school anaglyph style or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know what the red and blue style. They got both versions and they got the 2D version. So the fact that they've got it in 3D for home video, which it's never happened before, although you do have to have, if you want to watch it in the real 3D, you have to have the right equipment, which is not easy to come by nowadays. But I think it's very cool that Kino did this. Now, when it comes to me and Paul Naschy movies, most of the time I'm not a big fan. I've very rarely seen a Paul Naschy movie that I liked. But the aesthetics of this movie itself, I really, really like. And we'll talk about it. This is from 1968. Paul Naschy wrote and starred in this. He is a multitasker from way back. And the funny thing is, this is Frankenstein's Bloody Terror, right? Frankenstein doesn't have a goddamn thing to do with this movie. There's
That is weird.
There's not a Dr. Frankenstein in it. There's not a Frankenstein monster in it. The beginning of this is fucking hilarious, like a rundown of the monsters, and it's almost like a commercial for a haunted house or something like that, which I kind of got a kick out of. This is filmed in Super 70 millimeter Chillerama. This was originally released in Spain, Spanish or whatever. The Frankenstein's Bloody Terror is the dubbed U.S. version.
Right.
Of this.
Donde es Frankenstein's terror?
There's no Frankenstein in it, but there is the Wolfman and vampires. Dracula and a
Vampires.
vampiress. Paul Naschy plays Waldemir, who has been bit by a goddamn werewolf, an anthropopy. How do you say that? Anthropophy?
Anthropophy. Sure.
Anthropophagus. Lycanthropy, that's what it is. Lycanthropy.
I was like, what the fuck's an anthropophy gun? What the fuck is that?
Now he suffers from the curse of the lycanthrope. He's out of control when the moon is full, boss. This has the classic, like, Naschy werewolf look, which is pretty much an updated version of the Wolfman from the 40s. And I really like it. I really like the Wolfman look in this, and really all the other werewolf Naschy movies. So Waldemir, by day, when he's just regular old Waldemir, not the Wolfman, he is held in this dilapidated castle filled with books of black magic and the occult. And soon he meets up with this doctor, Dr. Makaloff, and his wife, who are supposed to be using black magic to cure Waldemir. But little does he know that the doctor and his wife are goddamn bloodsuckers.
Bloodsuckers. I suck the blood.
Yeah, so now, baby, Waldemir and the werewolf have got to figure out a way to rid the world of them goddamn bloodsuckers before it's too late. This movie has a great look. This movie looks great, right? It's very gothic style. There's some beautiful Latina ladies in it, right? Jeez. Oh, man, I don't know who any of them were.
Is Stephanie Vakir in this one?
No, I think this was like probably 4 decades before she was even born.
Yeah.
But look, this movie is overall, the movie itself is kind of boring, but it looks great. Like this is another thing, that just the atmosphere of it and the creatures and everything in it. And here's the thing, man, I didn't know anything about this movie, but there is a cult following for this. Shriek Show released this DVD, the last physical release it had in the U.S. back in 2005. That thing still goes for $70 or $80 online.
Jeez.
So this is a sought-after movie. Before the Shriek Show release, this was totally impossible to watch. I don't think there was another U.S. release of this. And the cool thing, man, is this is the very first time it was on. I didn't watch it in 3D because I don't have the capability of watching anything. Now, inside this, they did include their own 3D glasses. If you wanted to watch they got the old school red and blue glasses in there. So you can watch it that way. But man, I love Kino Cult and just what they're doing with a lot of these titles
that's one of my favorite label or sub labels for sure.
Yeah, just giving them a deluxe treatment, and there's actually a lot of special features on this as well. I just love that artwork too. Like that, just the green and everything, and the old poster artwork on there. The 3D Chillerama, yeah. Included in this, again, you got both 3D Blu-ray and Anaglyph red and blue 3D versions and the 2D version. There is a couple of different audio commentaries, one with, of course, Tim Lucas, who is a major fan of this movie. He might be the number one fan of Frankenstein and Bloody Eyes.
Now, there are very few people that I would actually, that call themselves historians, that I would actually want to hear from, and he's actually one of them, though. Tim Lucas has been around for ages, long before us, I think, and he's amazing about his knowledge base for these movies.
And also, if you want more knowledge, there's a second commentary with film historians Troy Howarth, Troy Gwynn, and Rodney Barnett. So these guys have a lot to say about.
Did we go to
movie.
high school with him? That sounds like somebody we went to school with.
Oh,
Rodney
Rodney?
Barnett. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a brief featurette about the 3D restoration. A separate company did the restoration of the 3D version. And there's alternate opening title sequence, deleted scenes, theatrical trailer, radio spots. This is from 1968. It's only 78 minutes long. It's a very brief movie, shot in the ultra widescreen 235:1. The transfer on this is rough, man, but that's every 3D movie. Like, there's very little I think you can do to I don't know what the remastering process is. And I didn't see the 3D version, so they may have cleaned up the 3D version way more than the 2D version. But, you know, if you're wanting something a little bit different, if you're wanting a gothic horror for Halloween, try this, man. They've got this one. I think this is like 14 or 15 bucks on Amazon right now if anybody wants to pick it up. And if you're into the gothic horror and the other nasty, nashy stuff, you'll definitely want to add this to the collection. It's Frankenstein's Bloody Tale, baby. It's out now.
Not to be confused with Frankenstein's Bloody Nightmare, which is a giant piece of shit movie we watched a long time ago.
We do need to do a Paul Nash retrospective, Uncle Bill.
Oh, we fucking don't. Listen, this may not be the best time to bring this up, but like, there are two directors that I will never understand why anybody likes their films. Fucking Jess Franco and Paul Naschy. Like, I can't watch any of that shit from either one of them.
Paul Naschy's a multitasker, though. He's not only a director, he's a writer, he's starring in there. He's starring as the good guy, he's starring as the bad guy. He does it all.
He needed to multitask into doing something good. Fuck.
He can do like you, multitask on a dick.
That's pretty. Won't you multitask on dick, buddy?
Did you like that? I come up with the best shit when I'm fucking like on them damn gummies. I don't know what it is.
1970. We don't have any physical copy of this, so we'll just have to talk about it. But 1970 film directed by John G. Avildsen, who that name might be familiar to a lot of people who are really like into 80s movies, because that dude basically directed your whole fucking childhood. He directed Rocky. He directed The Karate Kid 1 and 2 and 3. He also unfortunately directed Rocky 5.
I think he directed all the Rocky movies.
I don't think he did 4. I think
maybe he didn't.
Stallone did 4, maybe, or somebody like that did 4. But yeah, the dude directed so many huge films, and this was one of his first movies. And what a movie, man. Like, I knew from the first 10 minutes that this movie came on that I was going to like it, because it basically opens up with Susan Sarandon, and her and her boyfriend are junkies. They're heroin junkies. They're living in this apartment building together. And within the first 10 minutes of the movie, she's nude in a bathtub. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even realize there was a movie where she got nude. And like,
You was dreaming of this moment.
yeah, I was like, what? And that's the first like 10 minutes, just her sitting in the bathtub.
She's crazy young in this too. Like, I don't know how old she was. She couldn't have been very old though.
You probably don't
like
want to know. We probably
mid-20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not the central focus of this movie, but that's just kind of the setup, because this comes into play like much later on. So The real focus of the movie is a guy by the name of Joe, who's played by Peter Boyle, who's this racist,
Loudmouth,
loudmouth, egotistical, kind of like
alcoholic.
alcoholic working man kind of guy who runs in to this ad executive who's also like having a pretty bad time in his life, and he hates hippies, man. They both hate hippies, but like that's
And
kind of how they
the new hippie era of the
yeah,
late 60s, early 70s.
that's how they bond in the movie though, is that they're both like at this bar and he hears like overhears Joe talking all this shit. Like so they kind of just like bond together for their hatred of like the new America and hippies and all this stuff. But the real part about it is he like the ad executive kills
Dennis,
his name
Yeah.
Dennis, yeah.
the
Kills
guys
this
from the
guy.
Dark Shadows, I think that actor. That was one thing that I
Dennis,
couldn't.
Dennis Patrick. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh.
William Compton's is the name in the movie, and he accidentally strangles and kills his daughter's boyfriend, right? Who's a drug dealer and a junkie, and
Yeah.
his daughter overdoses in the hospital. They don't know if she's going to make it or whatever, and that's what ultimately leads him to go nuts and strangle this dude. And pretty much, yeah, I mean, he does kill him, but it was an accident, I believe. Right.
Yes. But then like as the movie goes along, it's really a movie about like the effect that this guy Joe has on Dennis Patrick's character in terms of like just wearing him down with all this kind of like just talk about
Normalizing his craziness.
yeah. And it gets to a point where Susan Sarandon, who I think her character's name is Melissa, like she's hospitalized. She gets out of the hospital. She finds out like what happens because she overhears a conversation that they have, and she confronts him and is just like, you know, you killed him. Like, what are you gonna do? Kill me? And yada yada yada, all this shit. So I don't want to. The ending of the movie is the real reason to watch it because it's got such a fucking
Wild, like
yeah, like you don't see it coming at all.
20
And, like,
minute last 20 minutes, yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
Because they get involved in this fucking like drug fueled sex orgy.
yeah, and then
And it gets even more off the rails after that.
it's just one of those movies where I won't say it's like the M. Night Shyamalan twist ending, but it does have like a twist kind of ending, I guess, where all of that shit kind of comes back to bite him in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this movie. I hadn't heard. You know, our buddy Dumile's the one that requested this for us to review, and watched it on a streaming service. Didn't have any idea what to expect. Peter Boyle is fucking amazing in this. Like, he's what holds this whole movie together, man. Because I don't know if you could have found anybody that could have done as good as a job as he did in that role. Totally believable, in that character, and you know he'd done some movies and stuff before, and lots of later have success on TV shows and stuff like that. But like as far as a serious actor goes, I don't know of too many other roles that I can recall him in. But yeah, he hit it out of the park with this. I mean, he's the title character in the movie, too.
He might be one of the most underrated actors of all time because he's definitely an actor who you could like a lot of people nowadays could not name if you held a gun to their head, but he's been in a lot of really really good movies and had a lot of really really good roles. He's been in a lot of movies that he stole the movie too,
Right, but not necessarily. Wasn't necessarily the lead or
No.
the focal point of the movie, more or less
No.
like a character actor.
Yeah. If you look back I mean, of course, the first thing that comes to mind whenever I think about Peter Bull is Young Frankenstein. He's not the lead in that, but he definitely is like a huge part of that movie. I think Marty Feldman, is that his name, steals the show in that
Another
movie.
one that instantly pops up for me is, and we talked about this movie not too long ago, the Dream Team with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Peter Bull is in that, and his character in that's great.
He was in Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
He did a great job in that. What's some other movies that he was in that were great? There's been a lot, man.
Yeah, he played like an evil motherfucker some in movies too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of an evil motherfucker in this, really, but it's a realistic approach, right? It's not, his character in this is not the over the top, theatrically evil guy. In this, he's more or less like a real mean motherfucker, like you would see, hateful motherfucker in real life. Where he's, so just depends on what you say or when you say it, what kind of response you're going to get from him.
He probably most people now know him, unfortunately, from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Right. That was one of the last things he ever did, I believe.
Which, I mean, he made a fortune, I'm sure, doing that show, like, because syndicated and everything else. But also, I don't know if you know this or not, but he won an Emmy for the X-Files.
No.
The Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose episode actually won him an Emmy. I think that might have been the only. No, he won one for Everybody Loves Raymond too, one time. So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure as far as home media goes, like what kind of release this has. But yeah, if it was one of those that like a Kino or an Arrow or one of those studios got a hold of, like I would definitely be interested in picking up a good copy of it, because it is like, I think it's a great movie. John Avildsen's films are all the ones that I've ever seen. Like the last episode, I took a look at the Save the Tigers movie that he did. That was, I think it was a couple of years after this. And that was a great movie too. It's another kind of like a drama or whatever. But yeah, man, any of his stuff, like I've liked pretty much all those movies that I've ever seen of him. So it'll be interesting to see maybe more in the future.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, the only reason I watched this movie before was because of Tarantino. Because Tarantino brings this movie up constantly as like one of the examples of like the type of films that came out in the 70s versus, like now or the 80s or anything like that. Yeah. It's just like these weird anti-hero movies where the ending is like not a 80s happy ending, everything works out kind of ending. And so I'd heard him talking about the end of this movie in one of the podcasts that he did, and I was like, I just gotta watch this movie just to see what the big.
I think you were maybe talking about this before you even like knew that we got a request to review it.
Yeah.
So maybe Dumile was checking out the podcast at the same time. I don't know. That's a weird coincidence, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, cool.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, Dumile, another solid pick from him. And if you haven't seen this, man, this is a great one to check out if you're just wanting a good old fashioned great film. Joe is definitely it from 1970. So thanks for the recommendation, Dumile, and all the support as well. So continuing on with our never-ending train of Kino movies.
Right.
This is one, and I've talked about these sort of movies before, man. It's a good aspect about having a good working relationship with Kino is they'll come out with stuff that has not been released in decades. If ever, like Night of the Juggler had never been out on disc or anything. This one right here, and I was reading the plot to it, and it sounded like it would be interesting. And I took a shot at it. The Lords of Discipline from 1983, directed by Frank Rodham. Now, I'd never seen this movie before, but the plot of it sounded an awful lot like Full Metal Jacket, like at least the first half of Full Metal Jacket, which this came out, I think, before. This was based on a novel from Pat Conroy. It's highly successful and like I think it was an award-winning novel. I don't know. A lot of people. I don't read that much, so I don't know much about it. But a lot of people say the movie doesn't live up to, the novel. This is one of those. But I really liked the movie a lot. This is just my recipe, man, for a great movie. And this, I think, still to this day, is the only film starring David Keith. This was his only lead role. And he's very young in this. I think that he does a fantastic job. I think this was somewhat of a success too. So it's kind of interesting that he never really did have that second shot at like a, at headlining a movie, but or starring in a movie. But he was a good supporting actor, I guess, throughout the rest of his career. Had you ever heard of this one though, Uncle?
No, never heard of it before.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it at all either, guys. It's got a very memorable name. But let's talk about it. It's set in 1964 at a military institute in the South. And we follow Cadet Will McLean, who's played by David Keith, who is back for his final year at the institute. And he's well liked by other sergeants and other cadets alike. He's, one of the more popular guys there. For the first time, though, at the academy, a African American student has been accepted into the school. So these are turbulent times in the United States. This was in like the early 60s. So you can only imagine, what's to come. And a lot of like military academies and stuff, they do like a hazing or what they call it, like Hell Week and stuff like that, right? In this academy, they have almost like a secret society that is unspoken. It's called the 10. And if the higher ups don't want you there, the 10 make sure that you don't make it. Like they make your life a living hell, right? And it's kind of unspoken, like nobody talks about it. Everyone knows it's some of the higher ups in the school that are kind of over it. And ultimately, like they pick on like the weak as well. And, the odd man out, which unfortunately was this African-American gentleman by the name of Pierce. And this lard ass fella, they made fun of him. Poor fella. He was fat. So they didn't think he was going to make it. And that dude ends up pretty much what? What's that?
Was his name in the movie Lard Ass, or you just called him Lard Ass?
I just called him Lord Ass. I think they call him Lord Ass in it.
Boom, Bob.
But the 10 didn't want him there. He was a little chunky bastard, and they didn't like him. And he ended up actually he didn't intend on killing himself, but he ended up dying because they were like, they were just that mean to him. And, I don't want to give it all away. But ultimately, their next victim is the cadet Pierce, the African-American student. And Robert Prosky, who is Sergeant, I think they call him Sergeant Bear in it. And he tells Will, he's like, look, I want you to watch after Pierce. That's your job. He's racist as hell too. But he's like, hey, we're fair to everybody that wants to come here and represent the United States or whatever else. You make sure, he's treated right or whatever. And along the way, he finds out more information about this secret society and the corruption within the academy. And lots of like cool supporting actors in this too that would later become like big stars. Bill Paxton's in this. He's credited as Wild Bill Paxton, which I thought was funny.
Killer.
Michael Biehn is in this as well. Very young. Like this is pre-Terminator. Judge Reinhold was in this.
Dambles.
Yeah, it's a really it was a moderate success. It had a DVD in 2004 from Paramount. But yeah, man, like I don't know why more people don't talk about this movie. I really, really, really like this movie a lot. Like period pieces from this time frame, just the music they used, the set design in this was really well done. It also co-stars goddamn Spradlin, so I'm a big fan of his. But this is a great movie, and it's an interesting choice. I don't think that that they did a Blu-ray or anything of this before, so this is the 4K Blu-ray combo pack here. And there are some extras on this too, which definitely want to. I don't. Does this have?
I bet you there's a film story on there, an action film story.
Well, this isn't really an action movie. This is more or less like a drama kind of with some violence and action and shit in it. But included in this audio commentary with film historians, you guessed it, Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson, with Pat Conroy historian Lynn Smith. So Pat Conroy is the author of the book. Have you ever heard of him, Uncle Bill? Is he sort of a big deal? There's a historian about that guy?
No, I've never heard of that. No.
Pat Conroy. An actor and a gentleman, an interview with the star David Keith. And Films to Change the World, an interview with the director Frank Rodham. This is a high recommendation for me, Lords of Discipline. I think one of the aspects that may have hurt this movie is it's called Lords of Discipline. Like,
Sounds like a porn.
that's not a good, like that was the name of the book. I understand. But yeah, they could have come up with something else to call this, I think. But it's way better than the title. Like, I don't know. Lords of Discipline almost sounds like a fucking USWA tag team as well.
It does.
Coming down the aisle from West Memphis, Arkansas, the Lords of Discipline. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great one. So if it
Like
sounds
a tag
interesting,
team that would have like Paul Roman and Barry Windham in it or something.
if it sounds interesting, you guys definitely go and check it out. Transfer on this is fantastic too, and it's the first release in over 20 years from Lords of Discipline.
So the last film I've got is one that I absolutely, along with the first one, wore these movies out when I was a kid. There's something about these movies that, like, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or an adult or whatever, like, there's just nonstop gags. So, like, it appeals to everyone, really.
Yeah.
And this one, I had no idea was even coming out, but I had to get it when you said that we got the screener for it because I used to love this movie. This is Airplane 2, the sequel, in 4K, which, by the way, is fucking insane that that's in 4K. It's great, but it's
Great
just
too.
I never in a million years thought that this movie would be
Airplane
in 4K.
2 would be in 4K. Do you think that they'll do Leonard Part 6 in 4K?
Yes, I 100%.
I would like
believe-
mark out. I would love that.
Guarantee they'll do that at some point. So, Airplane came out. It was a huge, unexpected hit. Probably like the biggest comedy that came out around that time and kind of changed the face of comedy. Because everything that the Zucker brothers did, which was who was behind the first film, was just nonstop gags, like sight gags, just one right after the other, like throughout the whole movie. And also like really clever writing and things like that too. Now, here's the weird part. They weren't involved in the sequel whatsoever. The guy that did the sequel, that wrote and directed the sequel, is a guy by the name of Ken Finkelman, who his only other notable credit was Grease 2. He wrote Grease 2. So this guy has not had a good track record. I'll say that. So the Zuckers went off and they did shit. I want to say Naked Gun, but it's not Naked. They did the TV show. What was it? Police
Squad.
Police Squad with Leslie Nielsen. That's why they didn't do this movie. So I'm actually kind of glad because that kind of like transitioned into the Naked Gun movies, which would then be, probably some of the biggest comedy movies of the 90s, late 80s, early 90s too. But this one is the same setup, man. Except it takes place in the future, so to speak. And this is like a lunar space shuttle that's taking all these people to the moon because in the future the moon can be like colonized, and it's taking this group. It's the same movie. It's just it's basically got the same exact cast.
They even joke about it being the same, right?
Yeah,
throughout the
yeah.
movie.
So you've got Robert Hayes is back, playing Stryker. You've got Julie Haggerty back. She's back. Lloyd Bridges is back. And then you've got new characters being like William Shatner, who's the commander of this space facility. So here's the thing. Everything is the same, but it just does not work as well. Even watching it now, I'm like, there's some laugh out loud. Some of the scenes in it, I was fucking laughing out loud. The very first scene in the movie is like, they never would do this shit anymore, man, but it was killer. The very first scene in the movie is like this bus pulls up and it's called like Iran Air. And it's like a shuttle bus for Iran, like, like an Iran flight. It's just a bunch of terrorists that get off like hostages. Like,
yeah, you can't do it anymore.
Can't do it at all.
Nobody'd like that nowadays.
No, but like
can't even laugh at that nowadays. That's not funny.
I just did though, but like I laughed out loud when I saw it because I was like, you don't see comedy like that now at all. Like they can't do it. But it's one gag after another, just like the first film. There's some really good stuff, like there's a whole scene, like a court scene, where they're talking about like what happened over Macho Grande and this kind of stuff. It's great. William Shatner's great. He's like perfect for that role. Lloyd Bridges is back and he's perfect for his role. But the jokes just aren't there. I think it has a lot more to do with the writing and stuff. This guy's just he's not on par with the Zucker brothers, really.
Well, that's tough, man, too.
Yeah, like, you can't come in and do that, I don't think.
I mean, it's a completely different crew behind the scenes. And a lot of what worked in that original movie had to do with the sense of humor from the fucking directors, right? You would imagine the writers.
There's two big parts that I think worked about the first movie. Number one was them, and that was like a whole new kind of creation of how they did that comedy. But number two was you had really, really dramatic actors that were in a comedy, and they were playing everything dead straight. And let me tell you something about Shatner. He's not a good dramatic actor. He's not like a Leslie Nielsen or a Lloyd Bridges or anything like that, right? Mm-hmm. So him trying to do this in some ways, he's good in it. But it's like he's hamming it up a little bit too much. Like you're supposed to play it just straight. That's what makes it work. You don't act like you're in a comedy. And I don't think he can do that. Just, through watching this. But anyway.
Well, it's interesting too, because I was looking this up. Evidently, the Paramount released a Zucker collection box set that has the first airplane in it. So Kino only got to do the second one. But yeah, now they're both out in 4K, which is pretty interesting. Like, and we talked about this before, like comedies in 4K, and Kino's done a lot of them lately. If you don't have a good copy of the movie itself, I say go for it. But for me, if I already had the movie like on Blu-ray or something like that, I honestly, I don't watch comedy movies for the video quality. But, a lot of it is whatever you have in the collection. Like if you're upgrading to DVD, yeah, go for it. Get it. But I don't know. I guess it's whatever you prefer as a viewer. But for me, I don't know. I love comedies and stuff, but they're not movies that I rewatch very often.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this one still works. It's still funnier than just pretty much about everything that's out now. and it still works. It's like a gag a minute type of thing. So they hit you with so much shit that if you don't like one thing, then there's like 10 other things coming like right after. You'll find some things funny about this. But, you know, ultimately, I think the original Airplane had a lot more kind of edgy, dark humor in it than this. This is a very more like kid friendly almost version of this type of movie. Like, it's written much lighter in tone, and there's not a lot of dark humor kind of stuff in it than like in the first Airplane. So I think that's why I don't like it as much, but I still like it. I still watch it. I'll probably watch it again before I put it up. But anyway, special features on this are audio commentary by Mike White of the Projection Booth podcast.
Big Mike.
Audio commentary by television writer, showrunner Patrick Walsh.
Patrick Walsh.
And that's it.
All right, cool.
This is the 4K of Airplane 2. If you've never
sequel.
seen this, you need to immediately watch it. If you have seen it, it's exactly like how you remember it.
Dude, I haven't watched the Airplane movies in many, many years. So
I used to love them. I still love them, to be honest. Like,
that would be a good series to revisit at some point. Another good one to revisit, though. This is the last movie that we've got this week, and this was a special request from our good buddy and Baller and Shotcaller, Timmy.
come on.
And it's time we revisit this one, man, because Synapse recently came out with this 4K box set of Deadly Spawn, baby. Look at that artwork. You'll love it. Deadly Spawn, one of probably the most creative, innovative movies back in the day. What was it, a 25? What was the budget on this? It's crazy low.
Not high. I know that. I'm not sure.
25,000. That's what I thought it was.
Damn.
And dude, you would think that most of that had to be the creature effects. How would you even do the creature effects for $25,000 in the early 80s? But Deadly Spawn, man, this is one that I had kind of forgotten about. I look back on the Patreon page, and we did do a review of the DVD initially back in like 2009 or so, and talked about it. But yeah, I'd probably not seen it maybe since then, maybe a little after then. I think they may have done a Blu-ray or something. But yeah, this is, I mean, the basic plot. You know, the movie starts with two campers that discover this meteorite that hit the ground and everything. And they, of course, get quickly devoured by, you know, the aliens. It's on the cover there, look at multi-layers of teeth. Yeah. And the creatures, which there's the big mama creature, and there's the little tadpole, like little fish-shaped creatures. They hold up in this basement of this house with fucking, like, I don't know how many dozens of people can go in and out of one house, but they do in this movie. There's like a mom and a dad. There's two sons. There's an aunt and an uncle. And they're all just living there. And I think one of the sons has like friends that come in out. Lots of people to kill. Ultimately, Uncle Bill for the Deadly Spawn. The young boy in this is a big fan of monster movies and all that. And he ultimately becomes the hero in the movie. But the real star of this movie is John Dodds, the makeup effects guy that created the monsters. The acting in this is fucking awful. Like, it's not really even the point. I don't even know if they had a script for some of this stuff with some of these people.
Yeah, I can't remember anything in this movie except for the special effects, to be honest, from memory.
Yeah, there's like, I think the older son has friends that come over and they try to figure out a way to take out the Deadly Spawn. There's another hilarious scene where these elderly women are having lunch or something like that together, and they get attacked by the little baby Deadly Spawns. And that's just like, I just love shit like that. I don't know, dark humor and all that. And this was shot in 16 millimeter. It's from 1983. And a lot of people like, okay, this is in 4K. They really went all out for this edition, Synapse did. The transfer on this is fucking like, I couldn't believe it. I don't know what the hell they did. Don May sprinkled his magic dust on it or something. This thing looks great. Like, it is like a full frame transfer. It's a square, like, I don't know if they call it window box or whatever the aspect ratio is. But man, this looks great. This is as good as this thing will ever look. This is probably the most deluxe package you'll ever get for the Deadly Spawn. This thing was like, what, $70 or something like that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I still haven't bought it because I just can't afford it.
So inside the package, yeah, it's an expensive package for sure. But they do include a lot of goodies now. This box right here, listen how hard that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking hard, listen to it. It's hard, man. It's getting harder by the minute. And they include a poster in this too, which I thought was really cool. One of them is a Japanese poster on one side.
That's cute.
And then this is the new artwork from, or no, wait, I think that's like an alternate artwork. That might have been like the DVD art.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a matte finish, very nice. It doesn't have that smell to it. This does. Oh, God.
Jesus.
But yeah, it's the booklet that has photos, behind the scenes stuff. Lots of cool shit there. And I don't know if these are going to become the standard for Synapse releases. If so, what do you think about them doing a re-release of Suspiria and going all out with it?
I mean, yeah. Why the fuck not? Everything else is getting like a huge re-release. Like Arrow's releasing stuff. It's already out.
Look at that. Oh, shit. Let's get that even bigger on there. You see my boy John anywhere? Get that there. It's a box within a box within a box. And this is what, a 2-disc set. And it comes with like the little lobby card reproductions. And there even is included a product catalog 2025. And there's alternate art. So you got this art here. And I don't know if this is the VHS art or what this is. Return of the Aliens Deadly Spawn, the alternate title.
Oh,
Look at that.
yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of the Deadly Spawn?
I've always liked that movie. Like, I just looked at it like as like a special effects piece, you know, where the monsters are really the only thing significant about the movie. But shot at 16 millimeter, I remember that. On, like you said, like incredibly low budget. You just remember people going to this house and then getting eaten by these damn things. And
it does feel like almost like Evil Dead or something like that.
Yeah.
It has that feel
Yeah.
to it.
you know what's weird is I'm pretty sure Tom Sullivan worked on it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like 16 years old at the time it was made. Something crazy like that.
But yeah, I mean, look, I understand like a lot of people are, and I think that they're for sure going to do a basic bitch edition of this. So if you just want to hold out for that, you can, because this is $70 and it's exclusive only on Synapse site. But I had fun with the movie, man. Like, I'd actually forgotten how great this movie was. Just a lot of fun. I mean, technically probably not a great movie or anything, but it's just a whole lot of fun. If you're into tongue-in-cheek monster movies, creature features, if you will, you can't go wrong with the Deadly Spawn.
Hell no. That's a classic right there. You got to get that.
Right now. And big thanks goes out to Timmy for the request, too, because it'd been a while. It'd been, what, 14, 15 years? 16 years. God damn. Well. But that is it. Look, guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in with us this far along. And check out all the other episodes. We have reviewed hundreds of movies in this series, probably close to it at this point. And you can, if you want to go to a particular movie on this show, you can just click the name below and it'll take you right there, because we are high-tech rednecks.
Yeah.
Mayberry meets Star Trek. So, but guys, that is it. Stay tuned tomorrow for Friday Night Lives. And all of you son bitches out there need to remember that DEADPIT
is watching.
A big thanks goes out to our supporters over at DEADPIT on Patreon.com. You can get hours upon hours of great content, right, Uncle Bill?
There's so many hours of content. We've got reviews. We've got songs. We've got live streams. We've got exclusive streams. We've got non-exclusive streams. We've got streams with all kinds of celebrities and all kinds of different old shows from the past podcast, the initial incarnation of the show. All of that can be yours.
DEADPIT on Patreon.com. Show us a little bit of love. Give us some money, because we definitely deserve it. That Patreon page is so killer that you'll rub your bird to it on a nightly basis. It's that good.
You won't be able to contain yourself. You'll have to jerk your bird out and go crazy. I mean, that's how much content that we have. So much content that it's massive, and it will massively smack you in the face.
You'll play with your bird so much, pretty soon you'll be looking around for somebody else's bird to play with.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Filipino bitch, Miss Slatko Fudd, telling you about shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. And it's the best goddamn deal on horror shirts you will ever see. New shirts, old shirts, all the in-between shirts. God damn it, bulls, go over to shop.deadpit.com. You ain't down with that. You can go to fucking hell.